Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of the Red and White Football Podcast with your co-host, myself, Cormac, and my other co-host, or the only other co-host here, Taylor. Taylor, how are we?
I'm electric, mate. Good to be back. Well, I say that, but it is the international breaks. Actually, I've never been more miserable than I am right now.
It feels better than the last international. I guess we've had slightly more.
Because Arsenal drew.
And that's not true for me. But it's maybe because Liverpool lost.
Yeah, that's true.
But as you guys have seen from the title of this video, we are going to be making our European
Combined 11.
Let's say. Well, it's just combined with Europe. Yeah. So
Yeah.
all the European players, so not just clubs, but players who are European. Yeah, I'm kind of over-explaining this, I think.
Inspired by the international break coming up, we thought we'd go into the European teams, kind of create our best 11s. We've both got two different 11s here, and what we want you to do is hear our teams out, hear our rationales, and kind of be like, Taylor's is better. So
that's exactly what we want. Just everyone to lie in the comments. But yeah, I think we just
get into it. Yeah.
Taylor, give me your goalkeeper.
So my goalkeeper, there's a few different options here, but caveat this by saying we've only gone for two nations, two players from the same nation. Sorry, so we can only have two players from France, Italy, etc., etc. So by saying that, actually, I picked a very major nation for my goalkeeper. But I've gone for Mike Maignan.
Okay, interesting.
Of France. Been France's number one for a good number of years now.
Yep.
Solid goalkeeper. Obviously, Chelsea were interested in signing him in the summer and bid, £12, which was duly rejected. I think he's one of the better, good-aged goalkeepers who will be France's number one at the World Cup next year.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's a good quality goalkeeper. He's quite athletic. He's got something about him. Obviously been at AC Milan for a good number of years now. Yeah, he's my choice.
Yeah, interesting. I mean, is there a reason you picked him other than just... Because obviously France have got a great team.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, he's saying, I'm going to pick... Man, it feels like a waste.
You know what? It could very well be a waste as I go down my list and realise I have three French players. Yeah. But actually, as I was building my team out, I kind of wanted just to think a bit differently about it, you know?
I mean, you can think differently and be wrong.
That is true, which
is fine.
I don't do. And as a result, I landed on Mike Maignan.
Okay, I think that's fair. He probably is a top, 5, 10 goalkeeper in the world?
You could go for someone like a Jan Oblak. I think he's way too old now. Obviously, you got an Italian giant in there as well.
Yeah.
And I even considered putting Pickford in there, but I kind of landed on Mike Maignan.
I think that's fair. I have, however, picked that Italian giant that you mentioned in Donnarumma. I think he's come off a season where he was quite comfortably the best keeper in the world. And then obviously, as it is kind of an international mindset we're looking at here, I think back to his penalty saves against England in 2020.
That's why I didn't put him in out of principle.
Out of pure spite.
Yeah,
I get it. I mean, he didn't celebrate immediately out of respect because he didn't realise he won, I think. Which says a lot about what's going on upstairs, which is what I want from my goalkeeper. I don't want my goalkeeper being intelligent. I want my goalkeeper not understanding the pressure that comes with being the one guy in the net.
You know what, though? My only disclaimer on Donnarumma is that I do believe that he's got a big case of the bozo in him. And I've seen enough of it, but I haven't seen enough of it since he moved to Man City. But I know deep down...
See, I did think...
In that big body of his.
And I do agree. But up until last year, when PSG were the best team in Europe, I very much... thought every time I watched Donnarumma, he always did something wrong.
Yeah.
I was like, if people were like, he's one of the best keepers in the world, he's going to be this, good. I was like, yeah, okay, sure. Then I watch him and he fuck up. Okay, I'm not watching him every week. I'm watching him probably once a month, if that, in the Champions League. And then now, as of last year, and then even at City, he has been very solid. I think he started pretty well, getting rid of the likes of James Trafford, who maybe could have made the team in another world had he been playing for Man City. But yeah, I think Donnarumma probably is... Still, I think he's probably the best keeper in the world.
It was the fairest shout.
It was the fairest shout. To me, it was kind of the easiest one. Right, moving on then.
You go for the right back.
I'm not going to spend too long here. I think we've mentioned him every episode for the last, I'm going to say, year and a half. Jurrien Timber.
It's so funny, it didn't even cross my mind.
Yeah. I just thought, because I was thinking of the best right backs in the world, and I actually stupidly at first put down Hakimi, not really thinking about anything.
This guy had zero ball knowledge.
And I was like, actually, hang on, not European. But I don't want to speak to death on him because we have at the last week and probably the week before. But I just do think he's the second best right back in the world.
Fair shout. But I've actually gone for his Dutch counterpart, Denzel Dumfries.
Okay.
To keep my Serie A theme running.
Right. Are you playing a 5-back then?
No, I'm actually not playing a 5-back.
Okay.
I'm going berserk.
Talk to me about Dumfries now.
Every time I ever see him, he's either the best or the worst player I've ever seen. He's either scoring a hat-trick or he's just causing all sorts of defensive nightmares. But I know that if I'm the manager of this team, I'm encouraging the best player in the world to come out rather than being the total bozo, which I have also seen. I swear he scored like a hat-trick against Barcelona in Champions League.
Didn't he? Yeah, last year.
Yeah, and also I think he's done quite well. I remember him, wasn't it at the Euros or international tournament of the past? He just absolutely killed it.
Yeah, he was really good. I think it was, was it the World Cup? I can't remember.
All I know is Denzel Dumfries performs when the eyes of the world is on him, and that is the kind of gusto that I want in my team, although Gusto from France does not make my team.
No. I think that's interesting. Again, so we both picked Dutch players, which I guess is fun.
Yeah.
How do the Netherlands line up then?
Well, my question to you on the Timber thing, to go back to it, is do you think he's playing right back?
Well, I don't...
Because they play three at the back.
They play three at the back, don't they? So he probably... I mean, you can't not play him.
He's going to be right-sided centre-back.
That's what he's going to be like, with then Van der Ven and Van der Dijk. Too many Vens, Jan. Too many Vans, too many whatever. With Van Dijk there as well. I imagine that would be the three that they play at the back. And then they've got the likes of Dumfries if they do want to play. I'm just looking up Dumfries because I want to see his age because he feels like... I
feel like he's 28 or 29.
He's been around for a long time, 29. Yeah, he's been around the block now for a long time.
Obviously, part of this Inter Milan team that's done incredibly well in Europe in recent years as well. Feels like he's going to be part of this Dutch team, which has been kind of middling for a long time for a team that has such a strong
underperformed. Really the Dutch team over the years. Because if you just look at their squad that I've got here now, I mean, of course they have Verbruggen in goal as well. I forget he is Dutch. I don't know why, because his name is Verbruggen. But even they've got obviously De Ligt there as well as another centre back, along to go with Van der Ven, to go with Van Dijk. They've got Nathan Ake as well. Yuri and Timber, obviously.
Defense is good. It's good.
It's a good team.
I think we'll get into it, but okay. Move on to centre backs. I think it's a great shout from us both picking Dutch right backs.
Sure, why not?
Huge. Yeah. So first centre back for me to continue my Dutch theme. Is Matthijs de Ligt.
Okay.
So, hear me out.
Just to clarify, so we're making the best European team we can.
I'm making a team.
I'm
making a team which I think will be the best team.
Okay.
Is the way I looked at it. Yes, I could have picked all the best players. Does that necessarily
you picked arguably the fourth best Dutch?
No.
Centre-back.
So shout out to De Ligt, who's just received an international call-up, having been out of Ronald Koeman's squad for the last few years. So he's on the up. The stock is rising. And Ronald Koeman seemed to hate De Ligt so much that no matter how well he performed for Manchester United, he would not get in that squad. He has now performed well enough. I think he's been Manchester United's top 2 best players so far this season.
Sure.
Yeah, he's played every single minute for Manchester United.
Second best player in the league for the 8th team.
And that's why he makes this cut. Yeah. He has a leadership quality, which I need in my defensive backline. He has that connection with Denzel Dumfries on the right-hand side.
Sure.
He's defensively very reliable. And now he's learning this jumping from the back three that Amarin's so cautiously teaching him, that he can now spring into and kick off a fast counter-attack, which is going to help my team later on down the line. I was just thinking, and remember, there's a 2-nation rule. I know I'm not going around. So far, I picked I've used a really important nation for a really useless spot, and I've now got 2 Dutch players. So there's not going to be any more Dutch players. Spoilers. But I've gone for Matthijs de Ligt.
So let's just, before I tell you my centre-back, who's also Dutch, obviously. So you could have picked Van der Ven.
Yeah.
You could have picked Van Heckel at Brighton, who's actually very good. Taylor's
I hate your arch nemesis. Yeah, he was nowhere near this squad.
But I think he's a very good centre back as well, to be fair to him. You could have probably picked the guy who I have picked in my first centre back position, which is Virgil van Dijk.
He's washed. He's absolutely finished.
Washed. He is. If you were talking about characters and leadership, I don't think there's been a better leader in the Premier League for the last 20 years.
Virgil van Dijk has done approximately as much as Matthijs de Ligt has on the international stage.
Clip it. Yeah. Not arguing with that. He is the captain, though.
Matthijs de Ligt, much better age profile. He is the captain.
I don't give a shit about age. I'm playing this team tomorrow.
Yeah.
And Van Dijk
Van Dijk is in a dreadful run of form, whereas Matthijs de Ligt is coming just off the back of a 96th minute equalising goal against Tottenham. Vibes are high.
Van Dijk is not at a bad run. Liverpool's struggling. Van Dijk's the only one who looks like he's got.
Do you not see the goal that he conceded yesterday against Manchester City? Where he's just like, you know what? I'm going to not block this, but kind of attempt to block this.
I'm not sure you can blame that all on Van Dijk.
I will.
I think the fact that you're arguing for De Ligt over Van Dijk is ridiculous. Or even Van der Trent.
Have you not been swayed?
Huh? Not at all. No,
Damn.
not for a moment.
Damning.
But my first centre back is Van Dijk for all the reasons that everyone knows. He is the best centre back in the world.
We'll let the viewers decide.
So far, I think I've picked the best goalkeeper in the world, probably the second best right back at the moment, and maybe one of the best centre backs of all time.
Yeah, but it's looking like a loose squad.
A Serie A, and a Man United centre back.
And it's looking good.
No, it's not. Okay, moving on to the second centre back then. Speaking of very good centre backs, which obviously is the point of this whole thing, William Saliba. Another part of the best.
Oh, Cormac's so boring and predictable. I'm going to call it.
I'm here to pick the best team. Part of the best defence in the league. I think maybe even underappreciated. Now, Gabriel is obviously getting a lot of the plaudits because he is also very good and scores all those goals and is such a set-piece threat. William Saliba is still so quick, so strong. He's impossible to dribble past. I think he is the clear option as one of my French representatives.
Wow, it's crazy. 2 Arsenal players in the first 4.
Yeah, it has to be done.
It's crazy. It's like they're almost top of the league or something. Who'd have known?
And conceding no goals, yeah.
So based off that very intelligent pick, I've then gone for Bastoni of Inter Milan.
I like that a lot.
Yeah, thank you.
I like that.
Thank you. Again, Bastoni, one of great age, 27, been a linchpin of that Inter Milan side, which has never quite made it over the line, guaranteed. But I think he's Italy's best player, most established player.
It's always nice to have an Italian defender there.
Yeah, you got to have an Italian defender in there somewhere.
26 only still.
Oh, even better.
Yeah.
He's won a couple of Serie A titles, obviously a couple of Champions League finals we've not quite seen, but I think that Inter Milan team was known for being so defensively resolute, and I think he was a massive part of that, alongside my boy Denzel.
Yeah.
So.
No, he's probably a top 5 defender or top 5 centre back in the world.
Yeah, he'd be one of those where it'd be really interesting to see if any Premier League club would ever fancy spending 70, 80 million.
Well, that's the thing. He's going to cost a big chunk of change,
yeah.
Isn't he? And if you want him, you kind of want him now.
Yeah.
I don't know if Inter would ever let him go. I mean, they've just got no money in Italy, have they? So.
No, so you never know. But I think that's a sound pick. I need an Italian player in there who isn't Donnarumma.
Yeah, so fair. He's a better looking Italian player, that's for sure.
That's huge.
Go on then. We'll go on to our left back. And you can start with that one.
Okay, well, I've actually... I'll go.
Go on.
I've actually gone fair and square here. I've gone for Nuno Mendes, Portugal.
That's our first one we've agreed on.
Yeah, I feel like he's just that good and the best in his position by so far and clear.
Well, we said this last week in the Premier League. I couldn't think of any other left backs really other than him.
I did a bit of research before this.
Look at us.
When I say research, I was saying I was chatting to my chatbot, and it was giving me various options that I could go for. And you won't believe he actually put Zinchenko in a left back. So that's just kind of the quality of left backs.
AI folks.
Yeah, AI folks. So question that. So that's the kind of level we're dealing with here. Nuno Mendes is by far and clear one of the better footballers in the world at the minute. Every time I watch him, he looks like he's playing a different sport. He's so quick. He's so good on the ball. He's got such strong attacking output, but he's so defensively sprung. Like he's got that extended leg type gene where he can just go around and take talent.
I've got some numbers here for you folks, so brace yourselves. But he's by far, I think that him and Hakimi are a lethal duo. Attacking wise, they are sensational. They are
defensively though, they're
so good as well. But I think attacking especially, I think that's what stands out when you watch them anyway. It's like looking at the numbers here. There's like non-penalty goals, he's in the 98th percentile. Non-penalty goals XG expected, he's on 98th. Shots total, he's in 89. So he's taking 1.2 shots a game, which as a fullback is outrageous, really.
And you know what's devastating? Last January, Manchester United were looking at left wing backs, and he was in the final year of his contract, or the final 6 months at PSG. And Manchester United were really very interested in getting Nuno Mendes. But obviously then ended up signing a contract at PSG. Boo, boring, won the Champions League. Good for him. But he could be tearing it up right now on the left wing. And we'll let him take more shots. Have at it, brother.
Probably has no choice. I think he was kind of the obvious one, I think, when it comes to Portuguese as well, which is nice and easy.
Arguably Portugal's best player.
Probably, yeah. Well, there's another Portuguese player that I'm going to pick later.
Really? There's also another Portuguese player that
I wonder who yours could be.
Actually, I don't think it is who you think it is.
Oh, okay, cool. Well,
it's Bruno Fernandes. No, I'm just kidding.
That's what I was expecting. Hey, it might be.
It could be.
That might be mine. Right, going on then. First midfielder.
You go first.
I will go first. So I guess I'm going to go in my amazing squad. I'm playing kind of, let's say 2 6s or maybe 2 8s and then maybe a 10. But the first midfielder of which I'm for Declan Rice.
You know what? He almost very definitely made the cut for me, but didn't.
I think if you're looking at just English players, he probably is. It's so hard because when you look at kind of England's best players, obviously Harry Kane's there. I think Jude Bellingham does still kind of feature in that, even though I'm not 100% convinced on him yet. You've got Les Cole Palmer as well, Saka obviously a whole lot, but I think Rice is up there. I think he's probably the best, if not the second best player in the England squad, arguably, in terms of what he does and what he can offer.
Oh yeah, no, 100%.
I think in the world at the moment, you're looking at set pieces. He's probably the best set piece taker there is, in terms of like corners, especially, which has obviously been such a huge part.
That could win us the World Cup,
absolutely,
because all these players from the Premier League,
get him in the squad.
All these big players from the Premier League who spent all season just doing set piece routines over and over and over. I feel like the Premier League is light years ahead right now of what we're doing with set pieces, and most of our contingent are doing that at the minute.
Yeah.
And we have the players who are the best at doing that.
Exactly.
That could be such a clutch move when we're going up against anyone, really.
Yeah, I mean, it tends to be the way for us a lot. Like, if you look back to the Euros last year, think of all the goals. Scored quite a few goals, I think, from corners. I think we scored 3 or 4 goals from corners or free kicks. Don't quote me on that, but that sounds about right.
Quote him.
Yeah. But yeah, I just think he, talk about Caicedo last week. I think Declan Rice is as good, if not better, arguably, kind of as an all-round midfielder as well. He comes up with a goal every now and then. He got 30 goals last year. I think, as an English player especially, which obviously I'm going to have to put 2 in there, I think he's a great option.
I think that's a completely fair shout. So, in absolute comparison, I've gone for João Neves of Portugal.
Funny enough, he's also in my midfield.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah,
he's actually...
Talk to me about João Neves.
He's holding fort for me down at the CDM. Again, every time I watch PSG, he's looked light years ahead.
I was thinking of either him or Fabian Ruiz. I was kind of the other PSG midfielder. I was kind
of Ruiz is an interesting shout.
Yeah, well, I think they're both so good. But I have also picked João Neves. Go on, you carry on. Sorry.
João Neves is a beautiful footballer to watch. He's so small, yet he's got so much dogged fight, and he's so technically sound. But it's just something about the way he plays and how he manipulates the ball and how he manipulates his space, his low center of gravity, which is just an utter joy to watch.
He is immense. I've just got some numbers here again, guys. 4 goals in 6 league games this season. If you look at like the numbers in terms of like passing, he's 98% pass completion, 89% of his passes. 89% for pass attempts in terms of percentile, and 88 percentile for attacking touches in the penalty area.
Huge.
So it shows now like how often he's up the pitch as well as he is just everywhere in that midfield. Right?
He's the king of my favourite trait in a footballer, which is press resistant. Yeah. He's unbelievably press resistant, and it's almost pointless pressing.
It's effortless.
Yeah, it's effortless. Well. Every time he gets the ball, he'll take it, half turn, pass forward, and then your team is immediately at the pitch. And obviously, he's in a team at PSG. Maybe not so much in Portugal, but in PSG where they're so rapid that as soon as he can create that inch of space, everyone's on the go.
Yep.
And you got your 2 fastest right and left wing backs in the world just darting down, and he enables them to kind of make the movements which they do. Super important player, top player.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think, again, looking back at the Champions League run that they had last year as well, how key he was with him and Fabian Ruiz in that midfield. It was just dominant. On the ball, you couldn't get the ball off him.
No.
It's scary.
You know what's crazy is that obviously PSG signed him from Benfica. He's still like 20 years old.
He's 21.
Yeah, it's crazy. And they signed him for like 85 million. And again, it was someone you kind of thought a Premier League team might pick up for that kind of money.
Yeah.
But I don't think it felt like he'd done enough for Benfica to show that he could do that in the Premier League. But boy, man, if someone had picked him up in the Premier League,
wow,
that'd have been crazy.
Well, look at like Vitinha as well, for example. Actually, obviously, he was at Wolves, which is mental. And now he's one of the, again, probably considered one of the best midfielders in the world at the moment at PSG. I think PSG's squad, like I said, they've had a lot of injury issues at the moment, but when they're back and healthy, I think like last year, they could be.
Naturally,
really scary.
I think with PSG this year, when you win so much and you finally achieve that goal,
there's always
a drop off because, especially because the non-competitive nature of that league, you're just not going to be able to and coupled with the injuries, it's always going to be impossible. But even still, that does not remove the fact that they are fantastic football players.
It's weird liking PSG.
Yeah.
Because I've hated them so much for so long, for obvious reasons. No one likes PSG. But now they have so many likable players.
Yeah, that is the frustrating
And it's impossible
part.
not to watch them and just be like, this is immense. Desiree Doué, obviously, another one.
Consider me sport washed.
Yeah, absolutely. Congratulations. Work, guys. Keep it going. Right, go on. You mentioned your other midfielder.
Okay.
Mine was also João
So
Neves.
the one I got in the 8 is Pedri.
Yeah. Makes a lot of sense.
Probably the best midfielder in the world.
Yeah, it's hard to argue.
I think I mentioned it on this podcast before, but I watched Barcelona versus Manchester United in the Europa League, just about 3 years ago, in the first leg. And everyone was talking about Pedri and how good he was, but I kind of never saw it. Saw him live and I was like, oh, this guy's playing on a different level to everyone else.
Yeah.
His quality of passing is fantastic. Again, so press resistant, so neat and tidy with the ball. But it's just his quality of passing is... There's not many other players right now in world football that can pass a football like him. He's got a sweet eye for a good goal. Love that. Again, seems like he's got endless stamina for a bloke who looks like he's about to pass out at any minute.
All the time.
Yeah. But now that I think the injuries really derailed him. Now he's back and he's just killing it.
Yeah, he's ridiculous. He's just progressive passes, 11.6 a game, which is
progressing.
Ridiculous. Progressive carries with a 3.46 as well. These are all 99 percentile stuff. So he runs that Barcelona midfield, doesn't he? Really?
That's it. And he's still pretty young. What, 23, 24?
20. Hang on, where am I looking? 25, sorry. There you go. No, 22.
22.
About to be 23.
Yeah, it's huge. He's great. And like I say, he's in the perfect place for him, which is Barcelona. If you're a player like Pedri, you want to be playing in Barcelona, and you will for the remainder of your career, providing injuries don't stop him. But yeah, top player.
Yeah, I think that's very fair. Again, a good Spanish representative there.
Had to be done.
Speaking of Spanish representatives, my final midfielder to go along with Declan Rice and João Neves is not Spanish, but he scored against Spain. His name is Cole Palmer.
Interesting.
So these are both my English picks now, obviously. Going on Cole Palmer and Declan Rice.
Before you go into Cole, I think that's a good debate to bring in.
Yeah, sorry, go on.
Because I've got Jude Bellingham as my cam.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, well... Okay, let's look at this. England's front four. Who is your... Let's say the World Cup starts tomorrow. Yeah, the World Cup starts tomorrow. As things stand today, who are your front four that you're playing? And why is it Danny Welbeck up top?
Well, it's because Danny Welbeck might be the best striker in the world right now. Everyone, outside of a really tall Norwegian. For me, I've got Bellingham 100%. I've got Harry Kane. And then off the left, I've probably got Anthony Gordon. And then I've probably got on the right, Saka.
See, that's very fair. For me, can you play Palmer on the left?
No.
He has played on the left, obviously.
He has played on the left. I think what gives me the edge for Bellingham over Palmer in this instance is that Palmer is very much the leader of that Chelsea team.
Yeah, everything goes through him.
Yeah, everything goes through him. Whereas for this England team, I feel like Bellingham still remains just more of a leader in that team, more likely to get something over the line. Obviously, Cole Palmer came off the bench and scored in the Euros final.
Yeah,
but I think this is the biggest forgotten moment in recent international is the bicycle kick that Jude Bellingham scored, because Cole Palmer ain't scoring in that Euros final unless he scores that bicycle kick.
Yeah, true. No, yeah,
and that was such a clutch moment. I feel like that's not really spoken about enough. It's something I think with Jude Bellingham in that he has such an overroaring personality. He's such a maverick-esque. He's almost become Marmite because now he's moved to Real Madrid. A lot of people don't have necessarily positive connotations towards Real Madrid. It's very divified, and I feel like he's become a victim of that. But damn, if he played in the Premier League and played for your team, he would be the best player. He's so good. He's Zidane-like in the way he moves. Yeah. He's so tall, but so good on the ball. There's not really a part of his game which I consider weak. Mentally, he's so strong. He's got such a good personality as well. He's obviously a top bloke, and he's obviously takes his profession really seriously.
I think the reason people don't like him maybe is because he's got that ego, but the superstar ego, but also the ego that you need in order to be one of the best players in the world.
You know, he's already won a Champions League at Madrid. He's become a very important part of this England setup. Obviously the whole debate about him not being in the squad. He's been injured. He wasn't going to get picked.
He was always going to be in the squad.
He was always going to be in the squad. Like someone like Phil Foden, I can completely understand why he actually might not be in the squad, because I don't think he's had a rough time, and I don't think he's been had any level of output at England level. Whereas Jude Bellingham has actually been there a lot and contributed a lot. And I feel like he's just someone, if you are going to win something, we don't have many Champions League winners in our squads.
True.
We have one in Jude Bellingham.
Yeah. No, absolutely, completely. Yeah. Great argument. Yeah. I agree. For me, it was. I mean, I was thinking obviously Harry Kane as well as another English guy that you could chuck in there, because he is, arguably the best striker in the world in terms of just pure footballer. But I think, again, this probably does come out to Premier League bias as well, because that is the league I am watching week in, week out. looking at Chelsea now, especially without them, are so inconsistent without Palmer. And I think the numbers he's had over
But
the last 2
even
years...
Palmer has been inconsistent for, he had a fantastic Club World Cup, but the final 5 months of last season, he dropped off his level a little bit.
That came back to his injury, though, I think, more than anything. And
then he went to the Club World Cup and was fine, and obviously now he's picked up this new groin injury.
Yeah.
And Chelsea have kind of managed to function without him. Top player. I'm not removing the fact that I do think Cole Palmer, when he's fully fit, has been top 2, maybe Premier League players in the league for like the past 2 seasons. But I think the mentality, almost in one way, is complete opposites of each other, because Cole Palmer is so elite mentally because he ain't got a clue what's going on. Whereas Jude Bellingham seems so aware of what's going on.
Yeah.
That he's developing this elite mentality because he knows what is required to get to that next step. Whereas Palmer might naturally just get there because he could be kicking a ball in the park with his mates, or he could be in the Euros final, and it's probably the same.
Yeah.
So both are elite in that sense. But I just think Bellingham's skill set is so unique in that his athleticism coupled with his technical ability, it's such an asset.
Yeah, sure. No, I think, again, I'd take either
set pieces
starting.
as well. You want him in the box. He's absolutely a big boy.
It's not a bad problem to have, is it? Having either Cole Palmer or Jude Bellingham as your...
It kind of is, though, because like essentially one of them isn't
going
to play in their position, and that will be Cole Palmer, because Jude Bellingham is either going to have to play 10 or he's going to have to play 8.
I think there's an argument for him to play in the 8, no?
Yeah.
And then have him and Declan Rice in the 8, Palmer in the 10. I guess the
only
thing
problem,
is, though, you want Bellingham in around the box, don't you?
You do. And only problem with if you play Bellingham at the 8 is he's so used to playing the 10 that he naturally just drifts forward anyway, and that leaves gaps, and can Declan Rice score those.
I think Rice could. On his own.
But you know what? He could, because he is, like, say, one of the best CDMs in the world right now.
Yeah.
So actually, it's not bad. It could work.
Again, good problems to have.
You know what? Imagine seeing a 8 of Bellingham and then a 10 of Palmer. That would be insane.
It would be
for
amazing.
England.
I mean, again,
but it never works like that. Football don't work like that.
It doesn't. I think the most likely thing would be Palmer probably starts on the bench or starts on the left. Because if it's Anthony Gordon, who I think has struggled probably a little bit this year so far.
Been doing okay for England, though.
He has always been good for England. And he is probably, he's the quickest player we have by a mile. And he's the only kind of out-and-out left winger that we really have, unless you class.
Rashford will probably be going now.
Yeah, I think he deserves to go.
Yeah.
But I still don't think he should start probably at the moment. Just, again, I'm not watching him in week in and week out. Maybe I'm wrong on that. But it's, again, a good discussion to have. And that's obviously England's firepower, isn't it? It is the front. The further back of the pitch you get, the more wobbly it looks, especially depth-wise. But I think that's Bellingham in your 10. I'm sticking with my boy Palmer.
Huge.
But yeah, I think it's tricky.
Interesting then, because that means that's a knock-on effect for your next couple of choices then, and the front three. So tell me, who you got right wing?
So right wing, I've gone for Elise at Bayern Munich.
Yeah. I have also gone for Elise, but I've shoehorned him in on my left.
See, I've shoehorned someone else in on my left.
Interesting. Okay. You know what? Just out of curiosity. Wait, no, it can't be. Ignore me.
Okay, we'll come back to it. But let's talk about Elise for now.
Talk about Elise.
Maybe the most exciting player to watch for me, alongside maybe my other winger, which we'll come back to.
Oh, okay, yeah. Again, genuinely think his output at Bayern's been fantastic.
Yeah.
Lovely footballer.
Really, really nice to watch. How much did Bayern pay for him? Was it 50 mil, 60 mil?
Yeah, 50 to 60
Seems
million.
like a steal.
Yeah, it feels like a steal. Thank goodness you didn't go to Chelsea, brother. Great decision.
Yeah,
that would have annoyed me.
Thank God for that.
You wouldn't be on my list.
No, you absolutely would not be. But he has been seriously immense to Bayern since they've signed him, really.
Yeah, he looks like the best, and he's got the numbers now, which are kind of...
He hasn't slowed down.
No. The only problem is I would love to see him back in the Prem.
Maybe he does one day. Obviously, he's born in England. He was raised in England, wasn't he? But he spent a lot of time in France, obviously.
He's obviously, he's got French.
Yeah, but looking at his numbers so far this season, he's got 4 goals and 3 assists in the league, plus a goal and 2 assists in the Champions League, and that's in 14 games in all competitions.
This Bayern team's been immense.
This Bayern team is really serious. Obviously, playing Arsenal in a few weeks, which will be a very interesting game to watch.
He's obviously benefiting from Harry Kane dropping deeper and just essentially
threading him through.
Yeah, putting him through, and he's bagging, which is huge.
He's 99th percentile in assists per 90, expected goals per 90, expected assist and goals per 90, and shot creating actions per 90. He is absolutely flying up top. Progressive passes received as well. He's obviously 99%, because again that comes back to Harry Kane just being in balls into because Harry plays as a 6. But I think there's no doubt that he's probably because he does.
He's brilliant, man. He's brilliant.
He does play on the right, obviously, but
really felt like a really weird signing at the time. Obviously, Bayern signing Elise when it felt like he could have had just gone anywhere.
Yeah.
And that's a very Premier League centric view that you do develop when all you do is watch the Premier League.
Yeah.
Anyone goes anywhere else, which is a top side outside of Barcelona, Real Madrid, which I can understand that more because I think that's been ingrained in the minds of Premier League watchers that naturally, if anyone's leaving the league, it's to go to Barcelona, Real Madrid. But to go to Bayern, it seemed like a surprising move at the time.
Yeah.
But actually, I think it's allowed him just to get on with his football and go from someone who had a lot of potential and was showing it in increasing moments, but is just delivering all the time.
He's playing with some of the best players, obviously.
Yeah.
And he's really benefited from that Bayern Munich move, which has been really cool.
Huge.
To see, I guess, if you're into that. But Shane, he should be playing for England, mate.
Yeah. Should be.
Probably
we could make an 11 of like players who could be playing for England.
Oh no, yeah.
And it would just be Elise and
Musiala.
Yeah.
Right, go on then. Who have you shoehorned? Well, so you shoehorned Elise on your left.
So on my right wing,
Who's on your right wing?
I've gone for Bukayo Saka.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Wait, is that 3 English players for you?
No, I've got him and Bellingham.
Okay. Oh, yeah, because I picked Rice, didn't I? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't.
I'll try my best to convince Cormac as to why Saka is a good thing, I guess. But again, one of the best players in the Premier League.
Yeah.
One of Arsenal's best players in a team which is doing really well in the league. Such a young age still, played so much, is just a master of the league. He's just so good at getting into the box and doing something, which is one of my favourite types of players. Someone who can just do something with the ball instead of just constantly thinking about, if he's going back, there's a reason he's probably going to make a run. Rather than just passing it to get rid of the ball. His outputs in the league's been awesome, and obviously started slow this season, but he's obviously had some injury issues. But the guy gets taken out a gazillion times a game.
Yeah, there you go.
There we go. He's really durable. He'll be England's most important player probably at this tournament.
He's probably, I think, again, kind of tying it back to the international stuff. He's been England's best player, consistently for probably 3 years now, maybe
100%,
maybe even 4 years.
Yeah.
You know, obviously got that goal against Switzerland in the Euros last year to equalise things.
It says a lot when you have two massive talents like Bellingham and Palmer, and we're talking about who gets in and who doesn't. Because for me, Saka has to start.
I think he's the first name on the sheet.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Again, maybe Arsenal
he just
bias.
offers something that, like, whilst also being a superstar, he offers something that the superstars don't necessarily have.
Yep.
Knows his position inside out. So good. Good.
He's not rapid quick.
Yeah.
You know, he's not like an Elise, for an example, or even an Anthony
He doesn't
Gordon.
need to be, because he's got the football intelligence to create his own space.
He can just get behind players.
Yeah.
And the best thing about watching international football sometimes is when Saka doesn't get doubled up on, and you go, he probably just goes, oh, thank God. And then he's able to just cut in and do what he does with his left foot and swings it around. I think, I mean, I'll be honest, I was really gutted not putting him in. But the reason I didn't put him in because of who I've shoehorned in at left.
I have a sneaky suspicion, but go on.
Yeah, Jamal.
Yeah, naturally.
He's probably my favourite player to watch in the world at the moment.
Yeah, he's so good with it, man. I think
he is the best player in the world for me.
Yeah.
I think he probably is. I think every time he gets in the ball, he reminds me of Messi. Probably just because he is in a Barcelona kit, but also because every time he gets the ball, I'm like, okay, what's he going to do?
Mm-hmm.
He takes on 4 guys, nutmegs 8 of them, and just somehow bends it into the top left corner. He's so fun to watch. I mean, that Barcelona team is crazy to watch anyway.
It is good.
Because they can see 4 goals a game and then score 6.
Mm-hmm.
But I think, he is just absolutely immense. And he keeps
isn't he?
Goals and assists. He's so far this year, he's already got 4 goals and 4 assists in the league. And then 2 goals as well in the Champions League.
Just to think about it, though, last summer at that tournament, man, when he just scored that goal against France, which was such a wonderful goal.
Yeah.
For like someone that young to do it, we say he's like, he reminds you of Messi. Yep. But Messi was not doing what Yamal is doing at this age. Very few players outside of, like, say, Mbappe in recent memory came in. But even Mbappe, he at the time looked just faster than everyone else.
Yeah.
Yamal just looks better than everyone else.
He does, much better.
Yeah.
So much quicker, so much better with the ball. I think it's technical ability, which I think is
insane,
ridiculous. Yeah. And you can, it's crazy because obviously professional football players are, especially the ones we're watching on the Premier League and the Champions League, are the 0.001% of the footballing ability. But somehow Yamal is better than all of them.
That's correct.
And he makes it look that much easier.
In 2025, where nutrition's never been better, every single minute of these professionals are scripted to the T to maximize their output. And then you just have a 17-year-old who still looks better than them. And you're like, wow, that's ridiculous. Pretty serious. You can understand the skill gap 10, 15, 20 years ago. Mm-hmm. But the skill gap to see that now,
it's crazy.
With the age that he is, you're like, God, I mean, at what point he could probably just complete football by the age he's 21, and
I mean, at that rate, he's got a few Ballon d'Ors in him. I think if he can stay fit, I think he's going to be around for a while. I mean, we did say the same about Mbappe probably when Mbappe was about 18, 19.
Yeah, but again, Mbappe, it's funny how the footballing narrative does kind of shift. He scored loads of goals last season in his first year at Madrid. And it's funny, I don't know if he's in your team, but he's not in mine.
He's not in mine either.
And, he started really well this year.
Mental, really,
which
is
mental,
isn't it?
yeah.
I think 5 years ago, if we'd said, like, who's going to be the best player in the next 10 years, everyone, I think 99 out of 100 people would have said Mbappe.
Yeah.
Just because he did look that much better. I remember the 2018 World Cup, I think it was, wasn't it? Where he kind of was his first time in the French
scored
World
in the
Cup.
final.
Exactly. I think he looked like that was kind of his statement of, okay, right, I've arrived. I am now going to be the best player in the world.
I think then as well, then the following tournaments kind of didn't. I think it had a few injuries he was carrying through these tournaments. Never quite looked up to scratch. Obviously, people fill the gap real quick, and then other people come to the mind when you immediately think of the best. I still think he is one of his own players in the world.
Yeah, he is, and I think he's actually unlucky not to make.
Yeah, and I think he is quite. I think he's almost become by design of his own greatness when he was so young. So I don't think he's been able to quite get there, but he's not been far behind it.
Do you think when he was at PSG playing with your Neymars and your Messis, do you reckon that hindered him?
I don't think it helped him because I think he still outperformed those two in that PSG team. Like, he still got more goals. But I just think that was that time when everyone was almost not bothered about. Everyone wanted to hate PSG, so by de facto hated Mbappe. Had he made the move to Real Madrid a year earlier, when obviously the whole thing when he wanted to, he might have won a Champions League. Everyone's looking at it through a different light. You know, now that Real Madrid team, maybe they don't sign Jude Bellingham because they got Mbappe.
Yeah.
You know, and all of a sudden the dynamics of that whole team is different. Obviously, they go on and sign Jude Bellingham. He spends a whole season up top. They win a Champions League. Yeah. He looks amazing. And then obviously they sign Mbappe. Now they've got the Vinicius, Mbappe, Rodrigo, Bellingham co-drama going on every single week. And you can't almost be the best footballing version of yourself when there's such dysfunction surrounding that. True. New coach as well, and it hasn't gone off to the greatest start. No. So it hasn't allowed him to be kind of seen in the broad light of day. Like, no, this is how good I am. And let me show everyone how good I am. Obviously, changes entirely. Say if France gone to win the World Cup next year, he's top goal scorer. And everyone's like, okay, he's now finally the best player in the world that we all knew he could be. Yeah. That's how quickly the football narrative can change. Mm-hmm. You know, Spain get knocked out in the round of 16. Lamine doesn't do anything. Mbappe gets to the final, scores a couple of goals in the final. You know, he scored a hat-trick in the World Cup 4 years ago against Argentina, but they didn't win. And now Messi is the GOAT and everything that comes off the back of that, which he is. But, you know, had France won, all of a sudden that's his Ballon d'Or, and then he's, you know, you kind of kick on. You're always in the thinking once you have one. Yeah. So,
agreed.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is unlucky, but my mic's just died, so we're going to move on to the other one. Both sharing one mic, folks. Well, that leaves finally the striker then.
It does.
I think. I wonder if we've gone for the same bloke. He was in my team last week.
Who was your guy last week? Erling Haaland,
It was indeed Erling Haaland.
I just can't pick him because I just don't care.
You know what? Can't be mad at that. I've picked Haaland for all the reasons, you know. He doesn't stop scoring. He won't stop scoring. And it's just a shame he's Norwegian. But they have qualified for the World Cup. Mm-hmm. And I think they'll be a fun team to watch, obviously, with Odegaard there as well.
Yeah. I think Odegaard almost made it in my team.
I mean, that would have been a cool pick. Obviously, I think he's kind of been forgotten about at the moment because he has been injured. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I think Haaland is the best goal scorer. I wouldn't say he's the best footballer, but he is the best goal scorer in the world at the moment. Mm-hmm. And I wouldn't be surprised somehow if he is able to drag Norway in the World Cup next year.
He'll probably be top goal scorer, and they won't win it, but
they'll get looked out on the round of 16.
But he'll score like 8 goals in one game against someone random, and then he'll be top goal scorer in the World Cup. That's huge.
Yeah, it's huge. But yeah, I think he's just, for me,
you know what? To be honest, okay, I've re-looked at my list, and I've realised I've got Haaland as a slash option. Okay. On the premise that if you went for Haaland, I was going to go for someone else. So now I'm going to go for will my Danish king please rise, Rasmus? I'm just kidding. I actually went for Alexander Isak.
Interesting. Okay, so at the moment, obviously, he's not exactly flying.
No.
In fact, he didn't come off the bench yesterday against Man City when they lost 3-0.
But that does not remove the fact to me that he, up until 2 months ago, was a £120 million rated player.
Yep.
Unique skill set.
Yep.
Has obviously scored a lot of goals in the Premier League. Looks fantastic. He obviously will be good.
Yeah.
unique skills. The European striker world at the minute is not filled with amazingness.
Sure.
Outside of your Haalands and your Kanes obviously getting older. You got Haaland. Who else are you thinking there? You got Gyökeres at Sweden. I'm not that fussed about at the minute. Sesko, I'm not that fussed about at the minute. You got Lewandowski at Poland. It's kind of a non-starter. He's like almost 40. Ferran Torres at Spain. I don't know. Absolutely not.
Julian Alvarez, I guess.
Gonçalo Ramos from Portugal. Absolutely not. So the striking level right now. Obviously, I know that you could then put Mbappe in a striker if you wanted to, which again felt boring. So I actually went for Alexander Isak. Because also with the squad view that I have, I feel like he would enable my brilliant wingers to go, essentially.
Yeah, I think that's fair. He's still probably the second best striker, I guess. I mean, Haaland.
Of course,
it's difficult to compare.
It's been 11 games in the Premier League season, 12 games, and he's been injured for the last few weeks of them.
Yeah.
Before that, he just won a trophy at Newcastle, and everyone wanted to sign that man if they could. Every club in the world, if you said, could we sign Isak?
Real Madrid were talking about. Well,
exactly.
I'm sure they did, but there were murmurs of Real Madrid.
I'm sure Barcelona looking at Lewandowski, thinking, can we make something work here in a year's time if he stays at Newcastle type thing?
Yep.
Every top club in the world would have been looking at him to do it. I almost put Nick Voltemar in there because I freaking love him.
His vibes,
I just love him. I feel like
interesting actually. No Germans in my team. No Germans in your team.
No, obviously. Musiala came to thought when I was thinking about it. Manuel Neuer is a keeper shout. Obviously, I think his peak's gone.
Yeah.
Germans, don't know.
No, fair enough.
Don't know.
But yeah, I think Isak's a very fair shout again. He is probably one of the best. He is one of the best strikers in the world.
So I'm thinking,
talk to me.
Let's whittle our team down.
Okay.
To a combined agreed 11.
Okay. Well,
goalkeeper. I'm willing to concede.
Donnarumma is the better goalkeeper.
Donnarumma is the better goalkeeper over Big Mike Maignan.
Okay, that's good.
I'm okay about it. Right back, we've got Denzel Dumfries versus Jurrien Timber.
Two Dutch kings.
I feel like I'm gonna have if I concede a bit now, I can use it as to my advantage later on in the game.
Okay, cool. We're taking Timber.
So we're gonna take Timber over Denzel Dumfries. Sorry, Denzel. And then centre backs is again Matthias de Ligt versus Virgil van Dijk. I'm calling in. No, okay.
I think you got to take Van Dijk as still at the moment.
I will again concede the Van Dijk might be better by the way the squad's looking right now.
Yeah, and then you've got Bastoni versus Saliba, which is actually a very interesting discussion.
Yeah, I think so. I think. International tournament, Bastoni, Italy are never out one.
Yeah, sure. Well, we'll put Bastoni.
We'll give for Bastoni,
just
bit of
variety.
Like you say,
I do still think Saliba is a better centre back, but for the sake of the team, I'll put Bastoni in there.
But you know what they say: you always must have an Italian in your back line.
You do. They do put it in the Bible.
Yeah.
Left back, we both went for Nuno Mendes, so that makes things nice and easy.
Yeah.
Midfielders then. So my first one was we both got João Neves.
We both got João Neves, so that's an easy one.
And then I had Declan Rice as my next one,
and I had Pedri.
So the question is now, because obviously if we want to keep it 2 internationals each,
yes,
2 nationalities per team,
it's got to be Pedri.
I think it is.
It's got to be Pedri.
Making it there, and then in the cam position,
Cole or Jude.
I think you made a very compelling argument.
Thank you.
So I will go for Jude there, and then left wing.
Left wing, we both got Elise.
Well, I put Elise on my right because I know Yamal has played more on.
So now, the question is, is it Yamal or is it Saka? And what a horribly criminal question to ask, Cormac.
Wait, hang on. For the right?
Yeah, we both have Elise. So the option is, the other option being...
Elise has to go on the right then. If we're being...
I don't know, I did watch Saka absolutely butcher that shot the other day from the left, which is why I didn't shoehorn him into the left.
And also Elise has not played on the right all year.
Okay. I mean, okay. Basically, I'm going to leave this to you to decide who would you rather have in the team, Saka or Lamine Yamal.
Fuck it, I'm going Saka in there.
Huge. Saka is in, boys.
Yeah, and then left wing, we're going Elise.
Yeah.
And even though he hasn't played there all year, don't worry about it.
And then striker, I will concede on the big boy Erling. I just wanted to provide a counter argument for someone else.
Otherwise it would have been dull.
Yeah.
I like that. Okay, so this is our final European super team with caveat two nations per team. What? I can't speak English. You get it. In goal, we've got Donnarumma. Right back, Timber. Centre backs, Van Dijk and Bastoni. Left back, Nuno Mendes. Centre mid, you got João Neves, Pedri, and then Bellingham. And then on the right, you got Saka. On the left, you got Elise. And up top, you got Haaland.
I think that's pretty spot on.
That's a pretty serious team.
That's a pretty serious team.
That's a Champions League winning team there. You're looking at each of those positions, and there's a very fair argument that each of those players are the top three in the world, which says a lot.
So, but this is kind of coming into the wider scope of what we're thinking about doing in the minute, and that the next episode, we're going to do our combined South American 11s.
Yep.
And then we're going to, same process.
Asian.
Naturally.
Yeah.
And then the idea is we're going to compare the two teams, see who looks stronger, and then naturally decide that England are going to win the World Cup.
Yeah, that's the easiest outcome there. But I think that's a very good team.
I think that's a very good team. I think we've done well.
I think we've done well. We are lucky in the sense that I think most of the big nations at the moment have got so many good players in each position that there is plenty of choice. Other than left back, which is the only one which we both just picked and went
immediately.
Zinchenko is our next best option.
Yeah. I mean, surprisingly, Calafiori could have maybe made the grade.
He could have, to be fair.
And that's a good Italian to have in your back line.
It's a great Italian, but he did not make the cut.
No.
Right, that's done. Now, it's time for everyone's favourite segment, the Red and White Scoreboard.
Boom, boom, boom.
If this is your first time watching, the Red and White Scoreboard is our weekly predictions that we do. So we take it in turns. We predict 5 games each week. You get 3 points for the correct score, 1 point for the correct result, and 0 points for everything else. So last week, the games that we picked and the scores that we predicted, we did Spurs versus United. I said 1-1. Taylor said 1-2. It was 2-1. I get 1 point. Taylor gets none. Sunderland versus Arsenal. I said 0-2. Taylor said 0-1. It was 2-2. 0 points, 0 points. Funny enough, Taylor's favourite score happened twice in the first 2 games that we predicted.
And then when I did predict it.
Exactly. And then we got City-Liverpool. I said 3-1 City. Taylor said 2-2. It was 3-0, which gives me 1 point. Taylor none. Palace versus Brighton. I said 2-1. Taylor said 1-1. It was 0-0, giving Taylor 1 point. And then Valencia-Betis. I said 1-0. Taylor said 1-2. It was 1-1, giving us both 0 points.
Yeah, huge.
So that gives me 2 points, Taylor 1 point, putting me at 25 and Taylor at 14. Is that right? That feels like that hasn't updated.
No, I don't think that has updated.
We will come back to that and I'll be on the screen now.
27 and 15.
Yeah, there we go. Huge. Right, going on to our next week then. As I won last week, I get to pick.
It's internationals as well. This is where it gets crazy.
This is where it gets really boring. Because it's always fun to pick internationals. I will go first in that case. I mean, it doesn't have to be internationals, to be fair. There's women's football still going on.
We chucked a women's game in there last time.
I think we do. Why not? Right, bear with me as I get them up, because I have not been prepared. Internationals start this week on Thursday. Right, let's start things off. Let's just go England-Serbia. Start things off, which is on Thursday night.
So, interesting.
Yeah.
What you reckon?
Is it?
No.
I will not be watching, that's for sure. I'm going to say... feels like a 4-0 to me to England.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I'm going to go for 2-2.
Damn. Interesting. That's very interesting.
I was torn between that and 3-1.
Yeah, well, you had to pick 4 goals, so...
But we're already qualified, so...
Yeah, true. It'll be interesting to see what team we play. It's the only thing about it. Go on, Taylor, do I look at the teams on the games?
Yes, I'm going to go for everybody's favourite fixture, Kazakhstan versus Belgium.
Yeah, classic.
Yeah.
Classic. What is your prediction here?
I'm going to go for a... I'm going to go for a... 1-1.
Huge. I'm going to go for a 1-3.
Yeah, that's...
there.
You know what? That is intelligent of you.
Thanks, man. I mean, I don't know what Kazakhstan's national team is looking like these days.
They've got a 17-year-old striker up top who Chelsea have signed, naturally.
Obviously, yeah, sure.
Represented currently in the Champions League by Astana, who are doing fine.
Sure.
Yep.
Take your word for it. Well, I'm going to go on Friday night. It's Poland versus the Netherlands, which I think is, 2 big-ish nations going at it.
Yeah.
1-0 to the Netherlands.
Wow.
which is going to be really exciting.
I'm going to go for a 1-2 to the Netherlands.
Okay, nice. Right, next game. What have you got for me?
Ooh, go back to the one you were just on. I'm going to go for Japan versus Ghana.
Nice.
Yeah.
Classic fixture.
Yeah. I'm going to go 3-0, my Japanese Kings.
Yeah, Japan are good, man.
I say every international tournament, I'll say it to people at work, I'll be like, watch Japan, man. They're my dark horses. And they're always like, what are you on about?
I've seen their kit that's just been released. Actually.
No, but it's awesome.
It's really nice.
Yeah.
Really nice.
Someone wants to buy it for us. If Japan, if you're listening,
send it over.
And we'll rep it.
Absolutely. Right, there you go. So I've gone for 3-2 on that one there. So
wow. I believe Ghana are struggling in the minute. I don't believe they've qualified for the African Cup of Nations.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
It used to be good Ghana back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
All done off of it. And then finally...
Is there any South American games we could pick?
That's a great question, Taylor.
If you go to the... if you go to the
first...
Hang on, if you go to... okay.
I'm just having a little flick through. Yeah, we'll do a women's game. We'll do Man City versus Man United women's on Saturday at 1:30.
Wow.
Which I think is going to be quite difficult to call, actually.
I'm going to go for... You tell me first.
2-0 Man City women's.
Wow. I'm going to go for 1-2. United.
You got to back your gals.
100%.
Yeah, nice. All right, we'll check back in next week again, guys, to see the international break results, which is very exciting. But I think that is everything for today, guys, for our first European International Spectacular. Picking that team. I had a good time with that. I think we did really well.
Yeah, thank you. I thought we did perfectly.
Yeah. Anything else you want to touch on, Taylor?
Just thoughts, views, leave them in the comments. We'll get back to you, let you know how we're right and you're wrong, or if you're agreeing with us. Because apparently we do know ball. It has been confirmed.
Shout out that one bloke who told us that we know ball.
Really appreciated that.
Appreciate it. Indeed.
Just let us know what you think.
Thank you very much, everyone, for watching. Please like, subscribe, share, do all that stuff that you love. It really helps, and we're really enjoying it. So, yeah, thank you very much, Taylor.
Cheers, guys. Thank you.
Bye.